I fell in love with my ex-husband's brother. After years of being ignored, and we had a baby together. Now my ex is acting like a victim, while his family turns on me for choosing happiness. I was married to Spencer for 10 years. For the first few, it was fine. Not great, not terrible. We both worked full-time, went on a few trips, tried to build a life. But over time, it was like he just stopped seeing me. He'd come home from work, eat, watch TV, and go straight to bed. No conversation. No connection. I'd try to talk about things, and he'd tell me I was making problems where there weren't any. Eventually, I stopped talking altogether. We were living like roommates who barely liked each other. About 4 years before I left, things got worse. We started sleeping in separate rooms because he said my snoring kept him up. I tried to bring up therapy once, and he laughed like it was a ridiculous idea. He said marriages didn't need therapy, people just needed to stop being dramatic. That was when something in me started to change. It wasn't even sadness at first, just quiet anger that someone could make me feel so invisible while acting like he was doing nothing wrong. I held out longer than I should have, mostly because I didn't want to be the one who gave up. But one night I realized I hadn't been touched or kissed by my own husband in almost a year, and the worst part was that I didn't even care anymore. I wasn't heartbroken, I was empty. So, I filed for divorce. I told him directly that I didn't hate him, but I couldn't keep living like a ghost. He didn't fight it. He didn't even ask why, just signed the papers and went about his day. That's when I knew for sure it had been over for a long time. Liam, his younger brother, was one of the few people who didn't treat me like I'd done something evil by leaving. I've known Liam since he was 19. He's always been kind, quiet, the sort of person who actually listens. During the marriage, he was the only one in that family who noticed when I was struggling. He never said much, just small things that made life easier. After the divorce, he helped me move into my apartment, fixed a broken shelf, checked in every once in a while. Nothing inappropriate, no hidden intentions, just basic human kindness that I hadn't felt in years. About 6 months after my divorce was finalized, we started spending more time together. I tried to convince myself it was just friendship, but there was something deeper that had been there for a while. We'd both ignored it out of respect. It came to a point where I told him that if we were going to cross that line, we had to be honest about it. No sneaking, no pretending. He said he felt the same, so we started dating openly. I wasn't ashamed, and neither was he. The fallout was instant. Spencer found out within a week and lost it. He accused me of having an affair the entire time, called me disgusting, and told anyone who'd listen that I'd destroyed their family. His version of events spread fast because people love a story where the woman's a monster. His parents stopped talking to me and told Liam he was dead to them. It didn't matter that the timeline made no sense or that my divorce had been final for half a year. They only cared about appearances. I didn't let it go unchecked. I sent Spencer an email with receipts, the date of my move out, the date of the finalized divorce, the 6-month gap before I started seeing Liam. I even attached notes from my old therapist showing how long I'd been trying to fix things before leaving. He ignored it, of course. It wasn't about truth for him, it was about his insecurity. When people stopped believing him, he doubled down and told everyone I'd manipulated his brother. Liam didn't stay quiet through it. He confronted his family directly and told them the truth. He told them Spencer had ignored and belittled me for years, and that the only reason we'd connected was because I was finally treated with basic decency. They didn't like hearing that, but Liam didn't back down. That's when I realized how different they were. Spencer always needed to look right, while Liam just wanted to be honest. We went no contact with his parents and the rest of the family after that. They made their choice. We made ours. It wasn't easy, but it was peaceful. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was living a life that made sense. I wasn't walking on eggshells or waiting to be noticed. I was actually happy. What still gets me is how fast people forget what came before the scandal. They see me happy now and assume it means I never cared. But I did care. I cared so much that I spent years trying to fix something that couldn't be fixed. I left quietly, with dignity. I didn't scream or humiliate anyone. I just stopped begging for scraps of affection. Liam and I have been together a little over a year now. We've built something real out of the mess. It's not perfect, but it's ours. People can talk all they want, but I've learned that most outrage comes from boredom, not morality. Update 1. It's been a few months since my original post, and I wanted to give an update because when I first wrote about everything, Liam and I had just gone no contact with Spencer and his family. We were focused on getting settled and keeping our distance from all the drama. Spencer didn't take the silence well. A few weeks after we moved into our new place, he started calling Liam's phone repeatedly. At first, Liam ignored it because he thought it would stop if we didn't give him attention, but it only got worse. Then one night, Spencer showed up at our house. I don't even know how he found out where we lived. He said he wanted to talk man to man, but the truth is he wanted to intimidate us. He stood outside shouting about how Liam had stolen his wife and how I had destroyed the family. Liam didn't give him the reaction he wanted. He stepped outside, told him to leave, and when Spencer kept yelling, he called the police. The officer showed up, gave him a trespassing warning, and told him if he came back he'd be arrested. I think Spencer thought we were bluffing. He was used to me being quiet and not fighting back during the marriage, so he didn't expect me or Liam to handle things directly. But the message was clear. He couldn't use fear or guilt to control the situation anymore. After that, he tried to go through his family. I started hearing from his mother and sister almost daily. They said things like how we'd humiliated Spencer and broken his heart, even though none of them cared when he spent years treating me like furniture. His mother even said she didn't recognize the man her son had become and blamed me for turning the brothers against each other. I didn't respond. I didn't see the point of explaining the truth to people who already decided what they thought of me. The next part really showed how far Spencer was willing to go. He contacted Liam's workplace and told them that Liam was having an affair with his still married wife, claiming I had cheated before the divorce. He tried to make it sound like we'd been sneaking around for years. Thankfully, Liam's boss already knew about the situation because Liam had been upfront from the start, but getting that call was humiliating. It made us realize that ignoring Spencer wasn't enough. He was actively trying to damage our lives. So, we got a lawyer. I gave them every record I had, therapy notes, copies of my separation documents, proof of dates. Our lawyer sent Spencer a formal letter warning him to stop spreading false information or face defamation action. After that, he went quiet. He didn't apologize, but he stopped trying to contact us. Around the same time, his sister, who had been pretty cold toward me since the divorce, reached out privately. She said she was sorry for believing Spencer and that she'd recently started seeing a different side of him. Apparently, after our divorce, he pulled away from everyone. He stopped showing up to family events, ignored their messages, and when he did talk to them, he acted like the victim, saying he'd done everything right and that we'd ruined his life. She said she finally realized that's how he always acted: detached, self-pitying, and never accountable. She told me she remembered how quiet I used to be at family dinners, how I tried to get Spencer to engage, and how he never even looked at me. I didn't know what to say to her. I appreciated that she reached out, but I also didn't want to open that door too wide. I told her I hoped they all eventually saw the truth for themselves and left it at that. As for us, we've been focusing on our life together. I'm a few months pregnant now, which wasn't planned but feels right. Liam is excited in a way I never saw from Spencer about anything. He's gentle but grounded, never pushy, never dismissive. We're both aware that the timing isn't what most people would call ideal, but I stopped caring about appearances a long time ago. We've been documenting everything legally, property, custody rights, even keeping records of all contact from Spencer just in case. After everything that's happened, we're not leaving any openings for him to cause more problems. Update 2. It's been a while since I posted. Things were calm for a lot of months, and I honestly thought maybe Spencer had finally accepted that we were done and that my life with Liam was none of his business anymore. I was wrong. When I went into labor, Liam was the only person I wanted with me. My mom lives out of state, and most of my old friends disappeared once they picked sides, so it was just us. It was quiet and peaceful until it wasn't. We were maybe an hour after the baby was born when one of the nurses came into the room and asked if I wanted to let a man named Spencer visit. I thought I misheard her. Then I saw Liam's face, and I knew it wasn't a mistake. Spencer had shown up at the hospital. He told the front desk he was there to see his family, acting like he had a right to be anywhere near me or the baby. I have no idea how he found out I was even there, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of his relatives tipped him off. The nurse said he was being insistent and a little aggressive. Liam told her immediately to call security and not to let him in. Then he went out there himself. I didn't see what happened, but a nurse later told me it got heated fast. Spencer was apparently going on about how this was his niece and that he had a right to meet her. Liam didn't yell or lose his cool, but he told him point blank that this was harassment and that if he didn't leave, they'd file a restraining order. When Spencer tried to push it, security stepped in. They escorted him out of the hospital. Liam came back in calm, but I could tell he was furious underneath it. He said Spencer looked like he'd been drinking, The hospital filed an incident report and added a note to my file about unwanted visitors. That means if Spencer ever tries something like that again, the police can be called immediately. We also added it to the list of evidence our lawyer keeps, just in case he keeps crossing lines. The weirdest part was that a day later, my husband's mother texted him. She said Spencer was just emotional and that he only wanted to see the baby. She actually said we were being cruel for turning a family moment into drama. Liam didn't even bother answering. It was one of those messages that reminded me how blind that family has always been. They never hold Spencer accountable for anything. No matter what he does, it's always someone else's fault. After the hospital incident, Spencer started spiraling. People who used to defend him began backing off. He had already lost a few friends over his behavior, but this made things worse. A few weeks later, someone told us Spencer was seeing someone new, a much younger woman. From what I heard, he moved fast and started posting pictures trying to show off how happy he was. It didn't last long. I don't know what happened exactly, but apparently she broke things off and said he was controlling and moody. It wasn't a surprise to me. I lived that version of him for years. He's been getting worse since. His work performance dropped, and one of his old friends said he's barely showing up on time anymore. He drinks too much and keeps trying to make people feel sorry for him. He tells anyone who will listen that Liam stole me and that I ruined 2 families. The thing is, people are tired of hearing it. They know his story doesn't add up. They saw me try for years while he treated me like a roommate. They remember how withdrawn and checked out he always was. I'm not pretending my situation is perfect. Having a newborn is exhausting, and there's still that background noise of family judgment. But Liam has been amazing. He's the kind of father and partner I didn't think existed anymore. He takes night shifts, handles calls, and makes sure I eat and sleep. It's not dramatic or complicated, he just shows up every single day. His parents came by once since the baby was born. I didn't want them to, but Liam said it was better to face it head-on than avoid it forever. They brought a small gift and made polite small talk, but I could tell they were uncomfortable. They kept bringing Spencer up saying how he was going through a hard time and how families should stick together. Liam stopped them before it went further. He said that what happened between us and Spencer isn't a misunderstanding or a grudge, it's a boundary, and we're keeping it. That ended the visit quickly. They haven't been back since. They still text occasionally asking for updates or pictures of the baby, but I ignore those. I don't want them taking anything and sending it to Spencer. I don't trust any of them completely. Update 3. It's been about a year since everything exploded. The hospital incident was the last time Spencer tried to insert himself into my life directly. After that, he finally backed off, or maybe life just started catching up with him. Either way, I haven't seen him since, and I plan to keep it that way. Liam and I got married quietly a few months ago. No big wedding, no guests, just us, our daughter, and 2 witnesses from the courthouse. It felt right that way. After all the noise, I didn't want another performance for other people's approval. We celebrated later with a small dinner, and for once the happiness felt calm instead of anxious. There was no pretending, no eggshells, no waiting for someone to ruin it. Just peace. That peace, though, comes with its own weight. Sometimes I catch myself wondering if I'll ever stop being angry at how long I accepted less. Not just from Spencer, but from his family too. They made me believe that being patient, quiet, and forgiving was what made a good wife and a good daughter-in-law. All it did was keep me stuck in a life that was slowly draining me. Meanwhile, Spencer's life has gone downhill fast. He's still living with his parents now. Apparently, he lost his job after a series of warnings about showing up late and drinking during work events. His parents are still trying to protect him, pretending he's just struggling and needs time. But from what I've heard, they've stopped defending him as loudly as they used to. Even his father, who used to ignore everything Spencer did wrong, has started avoiding talking about him. Liam's sister told me their parents argue about it a lot. His mom blames me for ruining Spencer, and his dad says Spencer did that to himself. A few months ago, Spencer's father reached out to Liam. He asked if we'd consider letting them meet our daughter regularly. He said they didn't want to cause trouble but missed being grandparents. I told Liam that if they wanted to be part of her life, they'd have to acknowledge the truth first, that their son wasn't some victim of circumstance, and that they stood by him while he harassed us. Liam agreed completely. When he relayed that to his father, there was silence, then a polite thank you, and we haven't heard from them since. Liam's been nothing but steady through all of it. He doesn't talk much about his brother, and I don't press him. Sometimes I can tell he feels a mix of anger and shame about what Spencer became. They grew up close, and it's hard for him to reconcile that with the man Spencer turned into. Every so often, Spencer still tries to reach out texts or emails, always the same tone. He acts like they can just move on and rebuild as brothers. Liam never responds. He says it's not worth reopening wounds that healed the hard way. I've started therapy again, mostly for myself, not because of Spencer, but because I realized I've been living in survival mode for so long that I forgot what normal feels like. I'm learning to enjoy things without waiting for the next disaster. Sometimes I still dream about the house Spencer and I used to live in, quiet dinners where we barely spoke, nights where he'd disappear into another room without saying goodnight. It's strange to look back and see how small I let my life become just to keep it predictable. Now my days are loud. My daughter is walking, babbling, throwing food on the floor, and Liam laughs every single time like it's the funniest thing in the world. There are no silent dinners anymore. The house feels alive. Sometimes I wonder if Spencer feels genuine regret, or if he just hates being alone. It's probably the latter. From everything I've seen, he's still blaming everyone but himself. He told one of Liam's cousins that I ruined his life and that he's never been the same. I guess that's true, just not in the way he means it. I don't get joy from his downfall. There's no satisfaction in watching someone unravel, even if they earned it. It just confirms what I already knew, that some people will keep destroying themselves as long as they can keep pretending it's someone else's fault. I stopped trying to fix that years ago. Final update. It's been 3 years since everything happened, and I didn't think I'd ever bother posting an update again. But something happened recently that made me stop and think about how far life can pull you from where you started, and how sometimes the full circle moment doesn't feel like closure at all, just quiet confirmation that you were right to walk away. For those who didn't see the earlier posts, the short version is that I left my ex-husband Spencer after years of being ignored, fell in love with his brother Liam, and built a life that I didn't think I'd ever have. Spencer, on the other hand, took a different path. I don't keep tabs on him. I hear things through mutual acquaintances or family. His life hasn't gone well. After our divorce, he tried painting himself as the victim, but his own behavior caught up to him. The relationships he's had since then were short and chaotic. One ex apparently posted about him being emotionally manipulative, which made his poor me act crumble a bit. His parents have had to step in more than once to help him financially. They used to defend him at every turn, but from what Liam's sister mentioned quietly one day, even they've run out of excuses for the way he behaves. Apparently, he's still living with them now, unemployed for months and blaming everyone else for it. It's sad, but I can't bring myself to feel sorry for him in the way people expect me to. But last week, I got an email from Spencer. It was long, probably 5 paragraphs. He didn't send it to both of us, just me. It wasn't cruel or accusatory like his old messages used to be. It was pathetic almost. He said he was sorry for how he treated me, that he knows he shut down in the marriage and took things for granted. He said he thought I'd never actually leave, and that when I did, he convinced himself I was doing it to hurt him. He said he hated that I ended up with Liam, but that he understands now, that I just wanted to be happy. He said he sees that Liam's a better man and a better partner than he ever was. Then, near the end, he wrote that he's been trying to find peace, but keeps thinking about how it all could have been different. I read it once. Then I deleted it. No dramatic reply, no closure speech, no need to have the last word. I just didn't want it sitting in my inbox like a ghost of something that doesn't belong in my life anymore. When I told Liam later that night, he didn't even look surprised. He just said something like, he's probably realizing everyone's done coddling him. Then he changed the subject to dinner plans and asked if I wanted Thai or Italian. That's how small the moment felt. Something that once would have wrecked me emotionally now barely registered. And that's when it hit me. Maybe this was closure, just not the kind you expect. 3 years later, I don't care about the judgment anymore. I stopped trying to look like the good ex-wife or the respectful woman people could root for. I just chose happiness, and it turned out that was enough.